Welcome everyone to this detailed session on teaching aptitude, part of your UGC NET Paper 1 preparation. Today we are diving deep into the very heart of teaching, its concept, nature, models, objectives and methods, all explained for the clarity, structure and interactive cues to keep you thinking. Let me begin by asking you a simple question. What does teaching mean to you? Is it just about giving lectures or assigning homework, or is it something more? Teaching, in its essence, is a purposeful and interactive process that enables learners to acquire knowledge, skills, value, and attitudes. It's not just a profession, it's a mission. Teaching is both an art and a science. As a science, it involves structure, methodology, planning, and evaluation. As an art, it demands creativity, empathy, and communication. Let's break it down. It is goal oriented. A teacher always has specific learning outcomes in mind. It is interactive and learner centered. Modern teaching involves two-way communication and active participation. It is continuous and dynamic. It evolves based on learner needs, feedback, and environment. It is influenced by psychological, social, and technological factors, meaning every student brings something unique and teaching must adapt accordingly. So, teaching is not static, it's a live, breathing exchange of ideas. Now, have you ever wondered, does the same teaching method work for children and adults? So, the thing is that we cannot say like this method will fit in this situation, because there should be or there is a specific way or when we need to look at the background of the students or maybe the environment and everything to decide on which method we are going to learn. So I will go through some of the approaches. Like first one, pedagogy. Pedagogy considers with the teacher taking the lead in planning and executing the lessons. So take into consideration a five-step approach which includes preparation, presentation, association, generalization and application of new knowledge. Now comes andragogy. In andragogy, it's a term popularized by Malcolm Knowles. It focuses on adult learning. Here, the learners are self-directed and the teacher plays the role of facilitator. The instructors will support the process by facilitating learning opportunities and skill development. And as I said, it's often associated with adult learning. Now, heutagogy. Heutagogy, it goes even further. This is like self-determined learning. It empowers the learner to identify their own learning path, pace, and method. So, which model would work best in an online course or in a professional workshop? What do you think? Just comment below. Now, we will go through the nature and levels of teaching. When we take teaching, I'm going through the nature of teaching. So when we take teaching, works at different levels in life, right? And uh, teaching is more like it's closely related to education, learning, instruction, and training. And it is an intellectual activity. It's not just we are saying something. It's like we think something and we produce by words what we are thinking, or by actions, or by visuals, whatever. Then we will, as we said earlier, teaching is an art as well as science. Teaching tends towards self-organization. How it's self-organization? Because the teacher, the facilitator, will make a specific approach in which he or she is going to present in the class. So that's why it is self-organization. Okay? It is a social service. We are not, of course, we are thinking about salary and everything. But apart from that, we are giving kind of service to the students, and in a way it's directly given to the indirectly given to the society. So it's a social service. Teaching includes lengthy periods of study and training. I mean, that's a long process, right? And it's a continuous process, and teaching is a profession. Now coming to the levels of teaching. Teaching isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. It operates at different levels. Think of these like layers of a ladder. So accordingly, the three teaching levels are memory level, understanding level, and reflective level. And there is one another stage also, which is autonomous development. So in autonomous development, it is a student-centered approach with natural intellectual development and minimal formal teaching. It involves constructivist learning where students build their own knowledge. And comes memory level teaching. It is the base level. It's all about rote learning, facts, definition, formulas. So it's a foundational stage, and our main focus is on memorizing and holding on to factual knowledge. Students are expected to learn the facts, concepts, and information, and here they are not meant to necessarily engage with the conversation or the process of studying, but they just need to memorize everything. It's not a like complicated process. And comes the understanding level. Understanding level, the learner makes sense of information and explains it in their own words. So at this level, they will be developing a deeper grasp of the material, takes precedence above merely memorizing information. What is the role of teacher in it? They act as a guide and facilitator, and they will also encourage the discussion. The teachers, in order to motivate them, like they will motivate them to think critically, ask questions, and go deeper into the material. And they will also support in the application level. They will guide them, like they will say about this situation, and they will guide them to how to apply a particular thing in this situation, like that. And then comes reflective level. In reflective level, this is the highest level. Here learners analyze, evaluate, and solve problems using their own reasoning. It emphasizes on critical thinking. Students' gain is not just about understanding, it's about deep understanding and independence. Here also teacher plays an important role as guides. And when we take the assessment process, they will evaluate comprehension and how critically the students think. Yes. So yes. And then there is dynamic environment. This reminds us that teaching must evolve with time. So teaching is not something which is constant. It should evolve. It should evolve with time. New tech. When the learner's needs changes, it should evolve with that. And global changes. So that's the levels of teaching. And so a good teacher climbs all these levels and helps students do the same. Now, objectives of teaching. What are the objectives of teaching? The objectives of teaching go far beyond textbooks. I will tell you some major aims. One is to impart knowledge and skills. It's the most basic but essential goal. Then it will help to develop intellectual abilities by teaching students how to think, not just what to think. They will also teach how to think. Now, to inculcate values and ethics. What are the values like respect, empathy, honesty? These are all the essentials. These are all crucial in shaping individuals, right? And to foster creativity and problem solving will enable innovation and adaptability by climbing through the levels of teaching, or like by uh, uh, going through these steps. The students are enabled with innovation and adaptability. Then to prepare students for lifelong learning. It's not like learning stops in school. Learning only begins from school. Every stage of our life is learning. So, teaching is the facilitation towards the progression of how it's going to develop, right? So, next time you step into the classroom, you should remember you're shaping not just a student but a future citizen. Whatever we do, whatever we say should be accordingly. Now we'll go through Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive domain. Have you ever heard of Bloom's taxonomy? It's one of the most popular frameworks to understand educational objectives. Let's actually there was one first, and what I'm going to say now is the revised version of Bloom's taxonomy. So first one is remember. It's like recalling facts and basic concepts. Then understanding. We will explain in our own words. Like we will grasp it first and we are articulating the concepts in one's own words. Then applying. Once we learn, understand everything, we need to use this information in new situations. Then analyze. We should draw connection among ideas. Like we should break down the complex ideas and we should distinguish those facts from inferences. Then evaluate. Evaluate is making judgments and decisions on these ideas or materials. Then create. It's generating new ideas or products, constructing new meanings or structures by merging diverse elements. Which level do you think most online quizzes test? I'll give you a hint. It's often just remember and understand. Now, Gagne and Briggs classification of instructional objectives. Robert Gagne and Leslie Briggs gave a very systematic classification of learning outcomes. These are verbal information, intellectual skills, cognitive strategies, attitudes, motor skills. So, verbal information is remembering and recalling facts and information. Like organized knowledge acquired by an individual is verbal information. So, intellectual skills. It's essential for navigating the environment, like categorizing, calculating, applying concepts. Cognitive strategies. It, these are the developing learning techniques like note taking for personal learning, memory, and thinking skills. Then comes the attitudes. It's instilling motivation and behavioral changes, reflecting an individual's internal state. Then motor skills. Physical tasks like drawing or operating tools. This classification reminds us that effective teaching targets more than just the brain, it targets the hands and the heart too. If everything working together, everything should work together for the teaching to be effective. So students should learn the technique of critical thinking, writing, drawing, whatever the skills, and everything together will be combined to say an effective teaching. Now, methods of teaching. Before that, we will go through the effective teaching practices. What are the effective teaching practices? Let's get practical now. What actually works in a classroom? It's not like as I said before, it's not like we just enter a classroom, say something and go back. We should plan well. We don't walk in unprepared. We should prepare well and communicate clearly. There should not be any jargon, just clarity. Use active learning. How does the active learning work? With group work, peer teaching, discussions, right? Then provide timely feedback. Every time we should encourage and should be constructive about feedback. Okay, and then continuous assessment and reflective practice. Then motivation and involvement of students and learning activities. So like reflect and adapt. They keep evolving. Teachers keep evolving and thereby students keep evolving. Do you recall a teacher who used one of these methods effectively? And how did you feel about it? Just comment below. Now let's move on to the methods of teaching. Teaching methods can be broadly classified into three. One is large group models, small group models, and individualized methods. In the large group model, it involves lectures, seminars, demonstration. These methods are great for delivering content quickly to many. If we have a larger audience, while teaching we should think of the methods of lectures, seminars, demonstrations. When it's small group methods, we are going to talk about small group methods. When it's small group, we can consider about discussions, panels, case studies. So this will help them encourage the deeper understanding and participation. Then individualized methods. It's ideal for personal growth and autonomy when it's just an individual um, or a small, like 1-2 individuals. It should be tutorials, projects, self-paced learning. So different settings call for different methods. A mix and match approach often works best. Now is the last topic we are going to discuss in the teaching aptitude session, which is Gagney's 9 events of instruction. So in that, the 9 events are: gain attention. Gaining attention is reception. We will use the stimulus to grab interest, for example visuals, questions or stories. Then inform learners of objectives. It's a it's to clarify learning outcomes. Tell them what they will learn. Then stimulate recall of prior learning. Why it is best to learn when we can connect what we are going to study with the earlier lessons, earlier chapters. Okay, then present the content. It should be organized. Then we need to deliver what we organize perfectly. Then provide learning guidance. How will we provide the learning guidance? Like, how are we going to support the understanding? We need to use examples, mnemonics and everything. Then comes elicit performance. Let them practice. So students have grasped the content by encouraging them to demonstrate their knowledge potentially through role-playing exercises. Now provide feedback. It's a reinforcement technique. Correct mistakes and reinforce learning. Uh, like after assessments, offer feedback. We should offer the feedback to reinforce key points and clarify if there is any kind of misunderstanding. We should give the chance to clarify. Okay, then assess performance. How is it done? Evaluating learning outcomes will help to assess the performance. Assess students' understanding through independent tests, questionnaires or essays. Then enhance retention and transfer. As the generalization, we should apply learning to real life situations. Promote long-term retention. We should deliver the content, and after that we should say about how we can apply this specific thing what we learned in a specific situation, in real life situations. So that is Gagney's framework. Uh, Gagney's framework, and it provides a structured approach uh, to instructional design and effective teaching. Yes. And that brings us to the end of this enriching session on teaching aptitude. I hope you found this both informative and engaging. Which concept stood out the most for you? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more such UGC NET content. Stay tuned for the next session where we will dive into the world of research aptitude. Until then, keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.